It's 100% entertainment, 100% electricity, 100%.
Pipebomb Radio with your host, Felix Olmedo.
To be the man, you gotta beat the man.
And Austin James.
That's the bottom line. From stone to stone.
Welcome, everybody, to Pipebomb Radio. Tonight, we're back at our normally scheduled time, which is very cool because, let's just be honest, doing the shows early can be fun. But then again, we're used to being at this time of night, so, when you're away from it for a while, you kind of miss it. And as always, I'm joined by Austin. More conspicuous by his absence would be Nate. Hopefully he'll be calling in here shortly. And we've got Hell in a Cell 2014 coming up this Friday. This Sunday. Where's my mind at today?
Well, I think you're thinking back on the same time schedule as last week. We're back on 10 p.m. finally. As much as I loved, talking with people like Karma, Jimmy Valiant, Lanny Poffo over the past week on Pipebomb Radio has been weeks to remember, and weeks of the show will always be in our memories forever. But one guy that's actually joining us within the hour to talk about Hell in a Cell is this the crooked. I cannot even tell you. When I say crooked, I mean this guy is a conniving. He's a weasel, man, and he's the governor above Burton. And that name rings a bell to many people within the South. But if you know managers, you're definitely going to know him because he definitely lets loose, and he does it in the best way possible, good or bad. And I don't know which side's going to come out.
Okay. So with that, in the meantime, we'll figure out what's. I think Nate actually just messaged me. He let me know he's running a little behind schedule, but on his way. We had Monday Night Raw last night as the go-home show to Hell in a Cell. I don't know about you, and it's just my opinion throwing out. The build-ups have been mediocre at best. They haven't been the greatest build-ups.
Really? You're saying that?
And I'm not saying that they can't do it. I just, they've been kind of mediocre. Excuse me, I'm still recovering from a cold here, but.
Well, to me, I think
you did mention that we have a guest that will be joining us here. Some guy, I guess, calling himself the governor. Not sure what that means exactly, but I think we'll find out soon enough and find out just what he's all about in a bag of chips. You got the bag of chips, Andy? I'm just kidding. Who is he? Well, take a listen to this before we bring him on.
It's the governor, where we breed champions. 4 thoroughbreds in the Kentucky Derby.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It's the governor.
the myth.
It's the governor. Southern swag.
You're either with me or you're against me.
It's the governor.
You need me.
Yeesh, that's kind of scary. I'm wondering, are we getting some guy named Governor or some guy named the Devil? Just kidding. But without any further ado, the governor is in the house. Welcome to the show, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for that warm introduction, and it's always good to be here on Pipebomb tonight, and I appreciate the invitation.
Not a problem, sir. Not a problem.
And it seems like you get a real bad reputation for being, a crooked governor manager. I have no clue.
Well, you know what? What's the song by Taylor Swift? Haters gonna hate, players gonna play. Anyway, it is what it is. People call me crooked. Well, I don't want to say weasel because there's only one weasel, and then he was my idol. There's only one weasel. But hey, you know what? Being an old crooked governor, well, once again, I'm not an old crooked governor. It is what it is. people have their opinion upon me. Most people have their opinion one way or the other because they obviously desire to be like me. They want to breed champions like me. I breed champions, as you heard in my entrance and theme song. I breed champions. I got more thoroughbreds than the Kentucky Derby in my stable. So there you go. So I mean, people are gonna hate. It is what it is. At least you know what I tell people. If you're gonna be riding the governor's coattails, at least scratch my back. So there you go.
Yes, Felix. I don't know why you are scratching my back, Felix. You and Nate are always talking about me, saying I'm doing this and that, and the whole entire other way around. You guys keep on talking about me. But, I think me and the governor have a lot in common. I think we really can be good friends.
Is that right?
Oh, good grief. Here's another
Is that right?
Someone else that wants to be like the governor. I tell you, trust me, I'm not Dr. Evil. I don't need a mini-me, okay? There you go. But anyway.
Okay.
Well, if Austin is the governor, then that makes me the president, right?
Okay, whatever. All right. Anyway, because that you guys are paying me by the hour, right? I mean, I'm not doing this in chair. I mean, I'm not going to send.
No,
like I said, it's only 11 o'clock here on the East Coast, so like I said, let's get down to business.
Tell them to sell. That's the business, and I think a lot of what's been going on in WWE recently has been pretty entertaining. I mean, Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose, I hope is the main event. That's what I'm hoping, but I believe it's going to be Randy Orton versus John Cena. Who do you think is going to come on top between that match? I mean, Randy Orton and John Cena, a long-time rivalry, one that I've personally enjoyed for quite some time. We're going to revisit this again this Sunday night on Hell in a Cell.
Well, my opinion is that, I'm ready to see someone else take main event. I am definitely excited about the Ambrose and Rollins matchup. That's something that I'm ready. I'm ready to see Seth Rollins kick that little crazy lunatic fringe butt all around the ring. So Seth Rollins will, by no doubt, I believe, come out victorious. But you got to give it to Ambrose. He's crazy. I mean, he's absolutely he's not stable at all. So who knows? Oh, you know what? Maybe the basket case might come out with a victory. You never know.
Well, with being crazy, you think back to guys like a Brian Pillman, think back to guys like a Steve Austin. Right. Crazy got them somewhere. Crazy can get him somewhere. And I think it will. And I think it will this Sunday night. We'll see the Lunatic Fringe emerge victorious and definitely be in line for a title shot somewhere down the line.
Go ahead, Austin. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead. I'm sorry.
I really think that Roddy Piper had a love child. And if you think about it, he would definitely have been about Dean Ambrose's age. Roddy just needs to come out and say that yes, that is his son. You get it over with, because I'll tell you right now, I see a lot of Roddy Piper in Dean Ambrose. A lot of them.
With Dean Ambrose,
which is a breath of fresh air. I love it. I absolutely love it.
The same thing. That's why I think Dean Ambrose is something that we haven't seen in quite some time, when you can do bad things and people can still like you. You know that you're doing something decent. And I think that Dean Ambrose is actually doing that, and seeing him being compared to guys like Brian Pillman and Roddy Piper and so on, Stone Cold Steve Austin, I think it's really good signs for the future. But last night, one guy you can probably compare Dean Ambrose to, maybe a little bit, maybe in his hardcore days, is Mick Foley, who we've seen on Raw this past Monday night. And he got in the ring surprise appearance, and we've seen him, and they just seeing Mick Foley in that ring with the cell above him again after being I don't know, I think the last time he was in the cell was with the Undertaker, or was it? I think, did he have any matches after that in the cell? Because I know he said that he describes his career as two things: pre-cell and post-cell. That's what we have to deal with this Sunday night in Hell in a Cell. Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins.
Mick actually had a match. Of course, the infamous one in 1998. He faced Triple H in 2000.
Oh yeah, that is true.
He was a referee in a match. I'm not sure if that was. I believe that was Hell in a Cell. Triple H and Kevin Nash. That was 2004, I think. But He's been around. If anybody knows Hell in a Cell, it is Mick Foley, without a shadow of a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mick
again,
Foley,
he's walking kind of wobbly there, so obviously he's been to hell and back, so to speak.
Right.
I have a feeling it'd be smart to maybe make Mick Foley maybe a guest referee in the match. What do you think?
I really don't think that he's like a lot of the older guys. It's his time is done. Unfortunately, I wish he had a lot more time in him, but it's just I don't think it. It's like Hulk Hogan. They they're a lot of interviews. He said he's coming back. I don't want to see one of my childhood idols get back in that ring the way he is now. Obviously, because he said that if he does come back, he's going to come against Cena. And, that was, because he said that it would be the two pinnacles of the pillars of, our generations, in a ring together. I'm like, trust me, I do not, as much as I am still a Hulkamaniac, I don't want to see my childhood idol get back in that ring. It's just like any of our idols back in the day. We don't want to see them go against Brock Lesnar. It's just, but anyway.
Now, I know one guy I think is going to be, with the whole entire stipulation between John Cena and Randy Orton, and Hell in a Cell, whoever beats who is going to get that shot at Brock Lesnar in the future, maybe at Survivor Series. It's bound to happen, but who can beat Brock Lesnar? We've seen in the past. That's what I'm saying.
Is that really an actual gift to somebody, or is that something that's going to really, they kind of sign their own death wish?
Well, it was really, it was really nice to see actually The Rock come out there. The Rock is still in amazing shape. That might be something they have up their sleeves. He said that he was thinking about coming back. I don't know that to be true, but he sure put a nice whooping on Brock Lesnar. But the thing with the like I just lost my train of thought, but really with Lesnar, definitely. I'm not sure what Randy Orton was smoking last night when he bluntly disrespected Mr. Heyman. Put him in a like the RKO. So I don't know what in the world he was smoking last night, but he's definitely going to have to pay for that move. He's going to definitely. So who knows? I would not want to be on the receiving end of Brock Lesnar, especially when he did that, to Mr. Heyman, because it was definitely. We all know it's going to be hell to pay.
Now, do you think?
And guys, I just wanted to let you know real quick that we do have a caller calling in. You guys up for taking a question from callers?
Sure.
Ooh.
Go ahead.
Alrighty, it is from area code 763. Caller is named Kelly. You're on the air here at Pipebomb Radio. What's your question?
Yes, hi. Okay, why can't there be more midgets being referees? Let's have more midgets on these shows.
You said midgets?
Yes, midgets.
Are you talking about like also okay, so WWE platform or
yeah, like everything, let's have like a referee, a midget referee, just to bring out the spark.
Hey, you know what?
They started to do something like that with Short Sleeve Samson a couple of pay-per-views back, but I think they kind of cut that out.
Huh?
I think that after a picture floated around on the internet of them back, before the show started, it kind of leaked out some information, and I think they kind of frowned upon that. And as far as, I'm not saying that'll never happen again, but I think it'll probably be on hiatus for right now.
Because, I think that would be it would bring out the show more, just something, comical. Because, I'm half Pint Kelly. I've been a wrestler for 2 years,
cool.
And a midget wrestler. I worked with, let's see here. I know this ain't a big person. I know this will be a talk. Buck Zumoff.
Wow.
Yeah, and let's see here. I did work with MCW. And so, I think there should be more midgets in some of these shows.
You mean you're not entertained by El Torito and Hornswoggle?
Huh?
You're not entertained by Hornswoggle and El Torito?
There needs to be more females.
I agree.
more females out there, more females to start just to throw it down.
Well, you know what would be nice is that I think that, you know what, we need to put in a call to Vince. Go ahead and tell them that we're going to have Pint Kelly as a special guest referee during the Rusev and Big Show match. There you go.
There you go. And I'd be bombed for that.
I mean, what better to have a midget referee facing two giants? There you go. There you go.
You know, like.
And the good thing, go ahead.
It's entertainment, you know.
Well, the funny thing, funny thing is that, you know, they could get by with whatever because, like, well, where's the referee at? I mean, where are they at?
Exactly.
You know,
where's the referee at?
Where's
I didn't see anything.
Oh, there you are. How you doing? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, I just went right under his leg. You see, I didn't see anything.
Yeah, trust me, Kelly. I absolutely love the Half Pint community. I absolutely. They are very. I mean, I have, like I said, they work my shows, and I absolutely. Some of the most talented, you know, a lot of people and I like I said, I know I'm off topic, but a lot of people give you guys don't give you guys enough credit, but there is a lot of talented workers out there that are
Yes, there is. And you know what? And they need to bring it out more.
Well,
and have and just
Well, we need to call Vince and tell him, hey, you know what? Right now, look, that was perfect WWE developmental. You just got a free idea from the governor tonight. Half Pint Kelly going to referee the giant match.
I'm on Facebook.
Uh-oh.
There you go. Well, Kelly, I appreciate you calling in.
I just dropping a line.
I appreciate you calling in tonight, Kelly.
Thank you. I
Bye-bye.
appreciate it.
All right.
You guys have a good night.
You too. And conspicuous by his absence, he has now returned to the show. Welcome, Nate Milton. How you doing, Nate?
Hey, what's going on, guys? I came in like an RKO from out of nowhere.
Well, that's been the trend. That's been the trend on Facebook and all social media. So, you know, that might just happen tonight because we have the crooked Governor Buff Burton on the line right now. He's been on, and we were just talking about him. I mean, this guy he was telling me he's giving me a run for my money on this show. That's crazy.
Uh-oh, watch out, Austin. You may get put out of a job here soon.
Well, I'm telling you right now, I'm probably going to put you on a lawsuit. Here I am talking about the midgets, so I'm sure that I've just offended every little person. I don't know. What do we call it? You know what? You know, because here I am the governor. I don't even know how to be politically correct. Isn't that awful? I mean, you know, are they little people? I mean, what are they? What's correct to say?
They're half-pint brawlers, all of them.
Half-pint brawlers, there you go.
Yeah, they have to have the strength inside of them, you know, in order to go to a world like this. So I think there's a place for, you know, the midgets and the half-pint brawlers and the professional wrestling community. There has to be, because professional wrestling is about entertainment, and I know there's a lot of entertainment within midget wrestling. There is. There's a place for it.
There you go.
Yeah, I always
Nate, what do you think about the idea of having midget wrestlers?
Yeah, I always like to think of midgets as fun size, just like Halloween candy. I love the minis. I love Torito and Hornswoggle and Short Sleeve Samson and all those guys. I think that anything you can do to kind of break up the card and do something a little bit out of the ordinary to give the fans a little bit more variety, I think that's a good thing. So I have no problem with our short brothers and sisters.
You know, we were talking about, you know, having them involved in a match with the Giants. I remember one of the, I will say, one of the best matches I can remember, and like I said, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, is whenever it was Hillbilly Jim and, like I said, it's late. Let's see, the big bald guy, big white bald guy.
King Kong Bundy?
King Kong Bundy, there you go. Back when they did the mixed wrestling where they had the 6-man tag, and when King Kong just smashed them like a fly, you know, when he belly flopped them. So, yeah, like I said, I mean, you know, WWE doesn't have a lot of that. I mean, like I said, they're trying to with the Hornswoggle and all that, but it's, you know, they're going to have to step it up, get some. Definitely, I would love to see a little, like I said, half-pint diva on WWE. That'd be awesome.
You know, because if you remember, there's actually, I mean, some legendary midgets, like you remember Haiti Kid or Little Beaver. I mean, those two definitely two that stand out in history of professional wrestling. And I see if they give more of these guys a chance, these guys can go to chance. There's a place for them. But moving forward, Hell in a Cell, the anti-diva Paige faces the Divas champion AJ in a match this Sunday on pay-per-view, Hell in a Cell, WWE Network. And I don't know, I think it's going back and forth month by month. Paige picks up the win, wins the Divas title, AJ picks it up again, and now it's Paige and then AJ again. What do you think's going to happen? I mean, this is unpredictable for me because it's been going back and forth. So what can you expect?
Well, I mean, personally, I'm getting sick of that. I'm getting sick of the Paige and AJ Lee. I know this is going to blow y'all away. Obviously, they say I'm a heel. I'm just a regular person, but they say I'm a heel. But like I said, I would love to see Natty take it. Or because Natty. But I'm I'm a Natty guy. She's like I said, with anybody that can get through the dungeon and live to speak about it, it has respect in my book, no matter baby or heel. So like I said, Natty. I'd love to see Natty, but I think Paige. What is it? Like I said, it's probably Paige, she's kind of lunatic too. She's kind of off a little bit. So Paige, Paige is definitely giving her a run for her money. So I'd like to, wouldn't mind seeing out of those two. I'd like to see Paige get it, of course. Like I said, this is WWE. You never know what's going on.
Well, I would like to see, as we talked to her earlier this month. Not that it's going to happen, but you know what? A prediction like mine could come out of the blue, or as Nate said, come out of nowhere with an RKO. No, I'm kidding. We'll see maybe the return of a diva to come in and totally squash them both and make her presence felt. I know it's not likely to be Karma anytime soon, but it would be nice. A diva that's different, doesn't go by your carbon copy Barbie doll, good-looking woman. Don't get me wrong. Eye candy's always good, but talent, it goes a long way. And when you talk about talent, you talk about a Molly Holly, you talk about a Gail Kim, who actually had wrestling talent, and were beautiful too. But right now I don't see anybody. So if anybody was thrown into the title picture right now, it would have to be somebody who can do it, who can carry it with dignity and be a good champion. And crazy to say that I would agree with the governor here.
well, it's definitely. I won't lie. And this is probably going to slap some of our lady listeners, but I fast forward the women's section now. Because the women's segment, because it's it has become too much of a soap opera. Like I said, if I want to watch a soap opera, I can watch General Hospital or Days of My Lives, or Days of or whoever, Young and Restless, whatever. But like I said, now, whenever Natty is working a match, I'll watch it because Natty come out of the dungeon. Now I'll tell you right now who I wouldn't mind seeing, and if she told me to chant "Go Russia," I probably would. Is Lana. I'd love to see them long legs get in there and wrestle somebody. But like I said, I'm a Lana man. I absolutely love Lana. Too bad she's on Russia, but anyway. But
now, Nate, who do you think's going to come out of this, AJ or Paige?
Well, I too have to agree with the governor on this because if you guys don't remember, this feud between AJ and Paige has been going on for a long time since the night after WrestleMania.
It's getting old.
And yeah, it's getting old. I like both of them, but I think a problem with the story is you've got two crazy chicks, and anybody that knows my romantic history knows I know crazy chicks. And that can be fun for a little.
Any man's romantic history.
That can be fun for a little while, but in wrestling you need good guys and bad guys, and I don't know which one of these girls to root for. And I'd like to see somebody like a Natty or like a Karma or Tamina, somebody different thrown into that mix. And so I think Paige will keep the belt, but hopefully after this pay-per-view, we can get this AJ Paige feud to rest and somebody new can kind of come into the mix.
My opinion, the last true female wrestler that I really believed in, and this is going to probably blow everybody, but you get the what you think about it, the true Attitude era. You know, that was the last of the. Now they call themselves the reality divas. I mean, they're breaking all kinds of our traditions and our sacredness of the business by let's make a TV show. You know, yeah, it's bringing in more audience, but it's you're losing the sacredness of our business, and I don't like that. But like definitely with Trish in that era, that was I was watching. Yeah, it's unbeatable. It's one they were true beautiful women, but they were. I'm telling you right now, Trish Stratus I could look at all day long, but I would not want to be on the receiving end of anything from her. You know, she could have leveled you out, and same way with any of them. Molly Holly, look at her. She was, unstable. All of them in there was just, phenomenal. Gorgeous women. Phenomenal athletes, and they were just, one. It was somebody to believe in. Now this generation, it's like, Natty is still. I'm Team Natty. Baby or heel, I will always be a Natty guy.
Same here, and you mentioned not wanting to get between, Trish Stratus or any of these divas that are from the past that have really kicked butt and took names at the same time. But when you mentioned that, it brings to the question: Brie Bella versus Nikki Bella. Jerry Spring got between them, and he broke a few ribs. So I probably wouldn't want to get between the Bellas either. And they're going to go head-to-head this Sunday night, Hell in a Cell. And basically, whoever beats the other twin is gonna be her. What is it? I'm not gonna say the word,
assistant.
The curse word, but general manager, I guess. Not a general manager.
They'll be their own personal assistant.
Yeah, a personal assistant. Brie Bella versus Nikki Bella.
Hey, listen, Vince Sr. is rolling in his grave right now when that happened with Jerry Springer. And having a family, I tell you, Vince Sr. is rolling over in his grave. That's where he is. They're all just like shaking their heads at that. Because that's another one I'm getting sick of. It's too much of the, Anyway, I'm just gonna shut up because it just. There's something that makes sense, but there's with this whole situation, I think it might be getting dragged out for far too long, maybe not. There's some cases that it is, there's some cases that it doesn't. But with the history that these two have been having in the past, you've never really seen them go head to head, like in a true just wrestling match. And I think that we might be able to see it this Sunday. We've never really seen them clash in a singles match before. We probably have, but in actual big stakes type of match.
The only way that this match is going to be of any kind of significance is if you put the two broads in the Hell in a Cell and let them go at it. That's about as interesting as it's going to get, and the only reason it's up there as one of the top storylines is for the men that they're dating or screwing, whatever you want to call it.
If that would have happened, it would have been between Trish and Lita in Hell in a Cell, but that didn't happen. So I don't think we're going to see Brie and Nikki get in that cell anytime soon. Nate,
I agree.
What do you think is going to happen between them?
They're breaking nail.
Yeah, well, personally, like Felix said, man, the only way I could get into this match is if it were the Bella Hella in a Cella.
Bella Hella.
Yes, hashtag.
Yeah. Other than that, man, there is no reason for me as a wrestling fan, as a WWE viewer, to want to watch this match. What are we doing here? Why is this taking up time? Why is this storyline still going on? These two can't act. They can't wrestle. I'm sure they're good girlfriends and wives or whatever, but this is TV time or pay-per-view time. It could go to somebody else. I hope it's a quick match, and I don't really care who wins. I guess for the process of telling a story, Nikki should win, I guess. I don't care. But, I don't know.
No potential in this match at all. There's no potential. I don't know. I see the best of both worlds. I don't think the Bella Twins get any credit for where it's due because I think over the past month with them being married to their respective men, not married. Nikki's not married to John, but I think they kind of put him under their wing and taught him a thing or two out of their arsenal, which is why Nikki and Brie are kind of different now. That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to seeing how how what's going to be the difference between them, facing each other. I think it's interesting. I'm interested in this. You guys are probably like, oh no, this is going to be terrible. I'm going to close my eyes.
I'd rather see Cena and Bryan fighting on behalf of their women.
That actually was talked about some time ago before Bryan got injured. A speculation of bringing the reality drama into the television, where it's clashing reality with reality, or however you want to call it. This reality show, they need to kind of steer clear of it and just tell the stories away from what's on the regular TV or the Total Divas reality show. I think they're trying to mix it up, make it too close together. And to me, at least in my opinion, it's not working.
Well, I can't believe they're fighting the way they are. They were just shopping the other night on Total Divas together. They bought a dress for her.
Don't mention that. We didn't see any of that, okay? We didn't see any of that.
Yeah. How in the world do I know about it, I mean...
No, we didn't see any people shopping. That's not what the fans know. I mean, they're not watching E! every single Sunday night before The Walking Dead happens.
Austin, you know good and well you're watching it right after you watch The Golden Girls. Don't even try to, hey, we don't judge. I don't judge.
That's supposed to be a secret. Nobody's supposed to know that I watch The Golden Girls and then Total Divas. That's not my ritual on Sunday nights, okay?
Oh, Jesus.
Well, let's move on from this before we bore everybody who's listening to tears here.
I know, right?
Rusev versus The Big Show. I mean, that's definitely a match. And listen, as much as I don't know, I think that Alexander Rusev, this whole entire storyline between USA versus Russia has been going on all summer. I mean, you have Biggie Langston, Jack Swagger, Mark Henry. Now it's The Big Show, and I actually think Big Show's one that he's doing with him right now is actually the most interesting out of every single one he's had thus far. And I'm looking forward to this.
I think we even talked about this a couple of weeks ago, Austin, when it came down to the fact that Big Show pulled the flag down, and they had to issue an apology for that. And they had seen the show maybe 15 to 17 years ago when Shawn Michaels was sticking a Canadian flag up his nose, doing things to it, laying it on the mat and doing things to it. And, and then you fast forward and you get an apology for pulling it down. And yet and then they talk about the soldier that Rusev kicked in the face, unless it might have been an actual wrestler dressed up as a soldier. Why? This kind of throws me. You know what? They're doing a good build for him, but the way they go about this and having to apologize to everybody for everything they do on television every week, it's getting ridiculous. People need to stop being so damn sensitive and just realize it's just a show.
Well, you think about it, Canada didn't have nuclear weapons aimed at us. Russia does. So I guess I'd be I'd be saying, hey, Putin, we do this is a show, buddy. But I mean, I could just see, we go into World War III. Oh, really? The history books. How did this start? Well, WWE. As we're in a nuclear meltdown because of the Rusev situation. But no, like I said, I'll tell you right now, I am totally ready for that match. All summer long, I'm sitting there watching the pay-per-views on the WWE Network, which only costs $9.99.
Oh, Lord, we got another Michael Cole with us.
Hey, listen, WWE paid me to say that tonight on Pipebomb. But anyway, what it is that it's, it's been like all summer. And I know every one of us on this panel, everybody listening in Radio Land all said it too. Well, he's going to be the one to do it. He's going to be the one. I thought surely Mark Henry's going to be the guy to do it. If anybody can do it, Mark Henry. And it's like, well, holy crap, who is going to beat Rusev? And then Big Show. Well, I hope not. I mean, I really hope not. I mean, if anybody, I want Big Show. I mean, there's nothing bigger in the WWE than a John. If Big Show does it, I don't know. I guess they're going to have to call the governor in and go whip up on that candy.
This is going to throw you guys off. I know you're probably not on the same, all of you on the same level that I'm thinking of, but if anybody's going to
How could we all be on the same level that you're thinking of, Austin? You're like way above us, so kind of bring us up to speed.
You're proving my point even more. Thanks, Felix. But you're not thinking what I'm thinking. Like, you think Big Show's going to do it. I don't think it's going to happen. I think we need a true American hero like Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle!
Who might get the job done.
Now that would be sweet.
And actually, his contract has just expired.
Now the things are ticking in your brain. Now the lines are connected to the dots. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about.
I was thinking he was going to say have the governor go in and whip on his candy ass. I mean, I thought I'd have to come out of retirement and have to go in there, But I would lose the match because I'm too busy looking at Lana, So I would lose it for our country because of those long legs.
That's the thing
with Lana, I think the issue with her is that she has really no wrestling talent. I think they want to put her in there and put her in the ring, but I think they're afraid she might hurt herself or somebody else. I've wondered that myself as to why they haven't got her involved in anything. She slapped Zeb Coulter, and that's about as physical as she got. Or, and she hasn't gotten mixed up with any of the girls or nothing. And I think it's just the fact that maybe she didn't do as good as they had hoped, and maybe they're just going to use her as a mouthpiece right now and eye candy for Rusev because nobody wants to look at that beast.
Well, it's definitely she's definitely one of the best I've seen in a long time with female valets. She's definitely. I see a lot of. I don't want to. Nobody could ever be like Sherry. Sherry was one of the best in mouthpieces with But I would love. Of course, I'm joking about, this, but I would love to really see her, like Austin said, get more physical. Which she's trying, I think, slowly. I think that they, are wanting, like he said about that. They're wanting to, but they're just kind of scared. And
Nate?
because what do you think about it? How in the world can she get physical wearing 9-inch stilettos? That's kind of.
And I know Nate has something to say about this because Lana. I think. I'm pretty sure in saying that you have something in common with Felix and the governor here. That Lana is definitely a distraction.
Oh, I tell you right now, she would be distracting me all day long, all day of the week. I would just lay down and say, "Hey, America, I'm going to Russia." No, I'm kidding. I would not dare. But yeah, I'm telling you right now, shoot, if I was facing that, looking at that gorgeous woman, I'd be done. I'd be laid out.
Yeah, she's for a long time been the best part of that team. But I got to say, Rusev has been stepping up lately with his over-the-top promos. I want to rip Big Show's heart out and chew it up and all that stuff. Like he's a perfect old school, foreign heel. I love what he's doing. I think he's going to beat the Big Show. The angle thing that you suggest is interesting. I don't see that happening just because Kurt can be crazy, let's say, sometimes. I think it's going to end up being Cena. But if you want to get really crazy, Austin, and just make ridiculous predictions that probably won't come true, let's forget about the Olympic hero and let's say Rusev versus a real American brother, the red and the yellow coming back.
Oh, Lord. Goodbye,
I don't know about that because on my side, I think I want to have somebody maybe like Sergeant Slaughter.
Oh, good grief.
You maggots have no clue, I'm telling you. I'm just kidding.
You know what? Actually, you may laugh, but The Rock is in phenomenal shape. He's talked about coming back, and he kicked Rusev's ass the last couple weeks ago.
He definitely shut that crowd up full of adrenaline, that's for sure.
Oh, I'm telling you right now, anytime you bring The Rock in, they go ape crazy. They bring The Rock in, and it just goes ballistic. And, that match, but I really am pulling for Big Show. I really think if anybody can do it, and once again, I said that's about Mark Henry on my show. I said I'm on, all these other guys. I said, if anybody can do it, and so normally I may need to say that Big Show's going to lose and he actually might win. So Big Show's going to lose this Sunday night.
I think if anything he will lose, but he'll get one good shot in and knock him the hell out and then leave.
Well, this might actually be something you guys didn't think about. Tribute to the Troops actually coming up, quite soon, December. Maybe they might actually show that as the final chapter, Rusev versus whomever at Tribute to the Troops. But at the same time, the Tribute to the Troops is actually a pre-recorded program that they're playing, so I'm not sure if that's going to be an answer to the question. But besides that, we're actually seeing an intriguing match. I personally think Damien Mizdow has been one of the most entertaining things I've seen in a long time. This is people on the side as a manager. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but this Sunday night at Hell in a Cell, he will be alongside The Miz, wrestling Sheamus for the United States Championship. Who comes out the winner, Nate?
Interesting question. I know we talked about it for a few weeks now. The U.S. title and the IC title are just kind of placeholders. The champions lose on a regular basis. I mean, Ziggler lost on Raw. I think eventually they're going to have to consolidate both belts and unify them. But getting to Miz and Sandow, I think this has been some of Sandow's best work. I mean, he just steals the show every time he's out there. This new kind of character for The Miz works for me. I really like this group, but I think as much as I like, Sheamus, and as much as I like, somebody like Ziggler, I think Miz and Sandow, this is something you should elevate right now, because much like Cody Rhodes when he became Stardust, I think that this incarnation of The Miz and Sandow should be getting a lot more TV time, because it's actually one of the funnier things on Raw.
No doubt. At this point, I'm just glad that they're not putting him in these ridiculous, make no sense stipulation matches just to make him look stupid, make him look ridiculous week in and week out. It's true. It's not something that is of his own. I mean, he's sharing the spotlight with Miz, but you know what? He's putting it. You can tell he's having fun with it. And I'm not sure if he was having fun with the other stuff that he was doing before, but in this case, you can tell he's having fun because the crowd's really getting a kick out of it. And I would say he's actually more over than Miz.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree there.
And I would think, that Miz may end up capturing the title this Sunday.
Now, Governor, you actually mentioned, the Damien Mizdow thing. Do you think you might actually fare well with a stunt double for yourself?
Oh, good gracious. Once again, there are a lot of people that have tried to be the governor, and every time I've shut them up. So, actually, for like last November, I actually grew a beard for No Shave November, and they said I actually looked like Damien Sandow with it. But anyway, I didn't know how to take that. But anyway, no, like I said, I agree with the panel that I think that that he's going to win it. Miz is going to win it because, like I said, this belt is kind of it used to have some credit. Now it's kind of getting overshadowed by everything else. It is what it is. It's a lower card belt, but hey, it's still respected. I'd like to, but like I said, I wouldn't mind seeing some of the. There's a lot of other guys I'd like to see in the mix. Start getting some more. Obviously, I have worked numerous shows with R-Truth because he's from my area. Back whenever he was on the indie scene. I spent a lot of time with R-Truth in the locker room. Very good guy. I'd like to see him going up. But like I said, they are, look at Kofi. Kofi's a very, and there's a lot of people they're not utilizing, and it's sad.
Another thing I have to go on coin on with what you're saying there, that when you're putting the same people in different scenes throughout the whole show, when you have 30 to 40 other talents that you can definitely use. They utilized all the talent 15, 16 years ago. Yes, their talent is not the same as it is now. Definitely not. But, you can, put it in there, infiltrate it in there, and make some stories, tell some stories. It doesn't necessarily have to be about the Bellas and having three different Divas matches each week. I don't understand that. And then, not to mention, have Cena in about 5 to 10 scenes, have Randy Orton in 5 to 10 scenes, Triple H. Look, we know that they're the boss, and these are the top guys. But you wonder why people leave there miserable when they're never really given a shot. They're basically sitting there not doing nothing, with their thumbs up their butts, not doing nothing, and waiting and hoping to get a storyline when they have nothing. Christian has been waiting to come back for months now. He's cleared. Where's he at? You have Alex Riley. He's a commentator, but he can still wrestle. Guys that could actually get back on there and get the people going. Another Zack Ryder.
Well, the thing is, it's different times call for different measures. You never know exactly what time is going to be for certain people. Zack Ryder, I think, had his peak was a few years ago, 2011, I believe, when he had that Ryder Revolution. Everything was really going good for him. And for some reason it died down. It just all it's
it
all
went
about
good for him for about a month, Austin, and then it totally sank. Kane destroyed him week in and week out, threw him off the stage. Right. Tore him limb from limb each week.
Well,
that was their way of kind of closing that quick, fast, and in a hurry.
With times like this, things go by really fast. It's all about what people like in the moment. It's not about people what they're going to like. In the future, maybe it is in some cases, but it's always changing. You never know what people are going to like. Like Damien Sandow, in recent weeks and months, people have changed to really take a liking to him more than they did before. And obviously, getting off the subject here, the tag team championships are on the line this Sunday. Stardust and Goldust. Oh yeah, you talk about weird. Stardust and Goldust are two cosmic. I don't even know. Yeah. That's a thing in itself. Anyway, they're wrestling the Usos again. And let me tell you, these two teams have had some amazing matches in the past months, and I'm looking forward to it. And I honestly think that the victory's going to be, Stardust and Goldust. They have the momentum in the cosmic key on their side.
What I'd like to see happen would be they have the match, and the Ascension makes their debut and takes them both out, and thus throwing a little wrench into the plans here and creating a whole new type of match for the three of them, or maybe make them the new number one contenders, because the same thing could be said with tag teams. When you don't let storylines, when you don't let them tell a good story and let stars get built, or even in the tag team, you put guys together who really don't need to be together as a tag team just to kind of get people talking. You need new tag teams. The tag team division
is weak.
Well, it is weak. It is very weak.
That was the best, I think, career-wise, the best thing Cody Rhodes could have ever did.
Absolutely.
Now I absolutely love that segment. When they come on there, when he does this, it's his little, I love it. Now I'm sure Dusty is shaking his head like, I don't know what I did with my boys. He's sitting back at home just like, what in the world? Where did I go wrong? But it's working. It's making a ton of money. It gets over. It's a great gimmick for both of them. Goldust has definitely, which I'm glad he's definitely calmed down from the old Goldust. That was a little too much for me, but anyway.
Well, that was good for the times that it was, because it was something different. But yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Nate. What's your thoughts on this, man?
I gotta say, the tag scene is. Wasn't it just a little while ago where it felt like we had a bunch of teams that were in the mix, and now it's just kind of you got two. They've broken up. They've broken up Harper and Rowan pretty much. You've got the Usos and you've got the Dust Brothers, and they're both very good teams. But kind of like with AJ and Paige, I've seen this match at least 10 or 15 times since WrestleMania, and I think that. I really love the characterization of Cody, man. He's taking Stardust to a whole other level. Just even with his in-ring style, it just fits. And I'd like to see them continue holding on to the belts. The Usos, I don't know. It's like I want to say maybe it's time to split them apart, but can you really? Like they haven't established Jimmy and Jay. Like I can barely tell them apart. They've barely established, these guys' personalities as individuals. So I don't know how well they would do if the team broke up. So I guess they're kind of stuck in the tag division for right now.
For them to break up right now, kind of be ironic because the Bellas were at a rivalry. So well, now we're going to do the Usos, Jimmy versus Jay. I don't think people are ready for that. Just yet. I don't think with those two guys, I think it's different because they're. I don't know. They seem like they're really inseparable as a tag team. I think that's what they should be for quite some time. But like Felix mentioned earlier, I think the Ascension is probably going to be the next greatest tag team of all time. I really see them. They're going to be, you mentioned guys like the Road Warriors, Legion of Doom, the Ascension. They're going to be next, I'm telling you. And I've said it time and time again, they are the next big thing tag team. I know it. But besides that, we're going to go back to the main event just for a second here. And we're just going to say the final prediction, put the period into the sentence, Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins. Who will pick up the win in the Hell in a Cell match that I think is going to be one of the most just grueling, devastating ones that we can ever watch. Maybe unpredictable as well. I mean, definitely with those two.
Agreed.
All right, this is going to shock. Like I said, if any of my fans or listeners are listening, they're probably going to think I'm drunk tonight. I'm going to go back and switch who I say. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think Ambrose is probably going to take it. I think that just the crazy, but I don't know. You keep on. I mean, don't sell out Seth Rollins because he's just as crooked as the governor. He's got the old, he's got that, always kind of gleam in his eye too. So I mean, don't sell him out short. So I don't. You know what? Forget it. Actually, I'm not going to make a comment at all. I don't. Because like that. I mean, that was going to be like the Senate races. It's going to be too close to call. I mean, that's just. I really don't. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know who is going to go with that one. Because that could go either way.
Okay.
I think this is going to be a great match. I've been really impressed with both guys lately. I think I'm going to go with Ambrose just because, I think he's kind of the hottest babyface right now, but also, Seth Rollins can absorb the loss because he's got the briefcase, and he can always fall back on that. So I think Ambrose is going to win, and then, I think the sky's the limit for the guy. It's unfortunate that Reigns got hurt and Bryan's out, but Ambrose has kind of picked up the ball and ran with the opportunities they've given him, and I think the fans are behind him. He's got a little bit of Stone Cold in him, a little bit of Brian Pillman in him, but he's also his own unique character. So I think, I'm going with Ambrose on this one.
I'll tell you, he is. If you DNA needs to test it, it is Rowdy Roddy's love child. I'm telling you.
Yes.
It is what it is.
I think either way he derives from hell. Dean Ambrose, somewhere down the line, he had some from hell. Probably an insane part of it too. Maybe one that he ruled by himself. But I'm thinking that if anybody's going to come out the winner of Hell in a Cell, it has to be somebody with an edge, somebody that's a little bit of a lunatic, a little bit crazy, that's willing to take it to the limit. Dean Ambrose is that guy.
Well, you think about it, I mean, it's very possible because, back in the 80s, they did a lot of orgies back then. So, I mean, because everybody says that I'm the love child of Freddie Blassie and Bobby Heenan. So, there you go. Then you got the love child, and you think about it, with the same age. So there you go.
Yep. Who's going to come out the winner? Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose.
I'm going to go out on a limb. And I'm going to go with Stray. As much as I think Ambrose could come out of this, I'm actually going to go with Rollins. Because, I don't know, he's a little snake, just letting these guys, some people to cover his back half the time, and I wouldn't be surprised if they've got a little ace up their sleeve. The Authority tends to always have a plan B.
We've always got a plan B.
And I believe it'll come to fruition at Hell in a Cell, and it's going to lead to another match at Survivor Series, team versus team. You wait and see.
Now the ultimate decision between these two people, Randy Orton, John Cena, the winner faces Brock Lesnar, probably at Survivor Series. That's probably what the signs are pointing to. Who can do this? Because I think either way, whoever wins, Brock is going to go through them. I mean, we've seen it happen time and time again in the past, especially this year. The Big Show couldn't beat Brock. The Undertaker couldn't beat Brock. Felix, you know that definitely. And I can continue to tell you that. John Cena couldn't do it multiple times. How is he going to do it again? How is Randy Orton going to do it if a person like the Big Show, the Undertaker, or John Cena couldn't do it? What makes him different?
right now, my grandma could beat Brock. I mean, the way his
Really?
health is right now. I mean, I was just talking the other day with a friend. It's like, where's our WWE champion? He's, where's our, that one thing that's very disappointing, and with WWE that I'm very disappointed with is that yes, we know he's, we all know Brock's health's not the best because of his diverticulitis. But it's like, when you're putting a belt, when you put a strap on somebody, that needs to be a factor because now he's off and nobody knows where he is. It's like, he won the belt and ain't seen him since, kind of deal. There's no title defenses, and it's kind of like I said, but that's my humble opinion. But I mean, with really, there's nobody on the roster now. I mean, sure enough, you're not going to have Seth Rollins go against Brock. He's like, the heck with that. I'll keep my suitcase. He better be laying somewhere. But I mean, I don't know who could beat him. I mean,
who's going to do it, Nate? The Viper or the Chain Gang Commander?
This is a hard one because John Cena almost never loses when he's not in the main event. But I think that this might be a situation where we get that RKO from out of nowhere because I like the seeds that were planted on Raw when you had Orton just RKO Heyman. And we've seen Brock and Cena at least 3 times already within the past couple of years. And I think Orton versus Brock would be an interesting match. And then, gives Brock something to do until either Reigns or Daniel Bryan or whoever his WrestleMania opponent is able to come back. So I can't believe it, but I'm actually pulling for Randy Orton in this one.
You know what, too? That's what I'm thinking is that you've noticed the little heat with Seth Rollins. I believe Orton is about to make a move to switch because, he's obviously getting sick of babysitting Rollins, so to say. And, I mean, your prediction actually sets perfectly in line. Like I said, Orton was a great champion. So, yeah, like I said, I mean, I definitely see that lining up now that you said that. Because we actually were talking last night about that. About, their Orton is, RK and Paul Heyman. That's not your maybe smartest move. But, like I said, I wouldn't mind seeing Orton back, going with Lesnar.
And as far as I go, I have to go with what you were saying, Nate. It kind of did leave something open there right there when Randy RKO'd Heyman out of nowhere. Nobody would have seen that coming, especially Heyman. But the fact that Randy's been in the ring with Brock at the same time when it was him and Batista in the same ring with Brock, it left unanswered questions that people want to see because they've seen a Cena versus Brock match. Why not switch it up? They're still talking about maybe making a Cena versus Brock at Royal Rumble. Why not switch it up a little bit? Maybe put Randy in the mix or even give Randy the shot. I mean, how many more battles are these guys going to have? Because they're putting this rivalry up there with the rivalries of a Hogan Savage, of a Bret Shawn, of a Rock Austin, of a, Triple H Rock. I don't know. You can name them all, but would you put this type of rivalry up there with some of the greatest matches in wrestling history?
Well, the thing is with Brock, Hogan and Savage showed up every Monday night or every time the door was open. So, I mean, I wouldn't say that's. I mean, to me, Brock's a great athlete, phenomenal, but it's just I don't classify him as.
There's no passion there.
there's no passion. He doesn't know what he wants to do. He don't know, well, am I going to go MMA? Am I going to be back in WWE? Or WWE's always the backup plan for me if I start having the crap.
He can make more money with WWE if we're not doing as much as he's been doing.
Yeah,
money is always going to be with WWE.
Yeah, well, my Lord, anyway, it's just like.
But I would definitely go with Randy winning it.
Yeah.
And with that, I think we've hit all the matches, right, Austin?
Yes, that's it. That's all of them thus far. I mean, we don't know what might happen on SmackDown this Friday night on Sci-Fi. Maybe the Dolph Ziggler versus Antonio Cesaro for the IC Championship is in the view, but I guess we're going to save for another time.
One last thing I'd like to throw in there to you guys before we call it a night here. I would love to see if they were to ever really pull anything away from WCW. I would love for them to just get, because they're really not making use of the IC or U.S. title as much as they should. Why not get rid of those and create a television title? Every week have a television title match like they did for the old WCW Saturday night shows. It's something different. Have a television title match, television champion, make it somewhat relevant, a believable title for once. There's no relevancy with the U.S. and the IC, even though there's so much history with both belts. But why not kind of pull something out of there and create a television title? Just an idea.
Can you, in your mind, play in your head how they're going to say it on Raw and SmackDown? Oh, we're going to have Dolph Ziggler versus Antonio Cesaro for the TV title. That doesn't sound right. Especially on the place of WWE. I don't know. I think the IC title and the U.S. title still has some weight to it. I think it has some backing where it could be brought back into it's how it used to be. I really do, and I think Antonio Cesaro is a guy that can bring back the prestige. I'm not saying that Dolph can't, but that Dolph's probably one of the greatest wrestlers. They're one of the best wrestlers in the world today. He's definitely a front runner. But I don't know. I think it still has its chance to really be revived.
Well,
for your sake, I hope you're right, but I don't see it happening.
Well, I would definitely like to see. With like another one that is kind of, and I know I'm going back in time, but it's like the Luke Harper and Rowan and all that with that breakup on how Bray pretty much is canning Luke. And out of all three of those, I think Luke is the most talented out of those three. And I don't understand the reasoning there of why they're canning him. Because that could have been. They were trying to push Rowan and Luke as a tag team. And they were kind of breaking off from Bray, and then Bray wouldn't get quite as much limelight, and it's like, well, let's not do that kind of deal. But I'm kind of upset about that, because that was, they were a really good tag team, and that would have been a good match between the Usos or even with Goldust and but like I said, it's just the caliber of like I'll tell you right now, I go because anytime I'm not running my XPW shows, I'll tell you right now, or because if I'm not working, I'm out at indie shows. Like I said, when I go to a lot of the local shows just to go, not as the governor, I kind of go incognito, just to kind of go as a fan. Like I'm telling you right now, I tell you, WWE Developmental, they really need to get into this indie market really good and looking, because I'm telling you right now, there's some phenomenal guys just in our circuit. Just in our market of, the Southeast, there's a lot of good guys out here they need to be taking a look at. And,
speaking of one of those guys, actually, now you bring up the question, the comment there, we were actually supposed to have NWA Junior Heavyweight Champion Chase Owens on tonight, but things didn't quite go the way he's planned. He's actually back with us next week on Pipebomb Radio, and I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with New Japan Pro Wrestling, but he actually had enough testicular fortitude to call out Jushin Thunder Liger. One of my favorite wrestlers of all time. He had enough of that in order to call out a guy like that and is actually challenging him. I'm putting his NWA Junior Heavyweight title on the line against Liger next month in New Japan again. And we're going to talk about that next week on Pipebomb Radio. It's going to be quite a conversation because I want to talk to that Chase Owens and ask him what was going through his head when he called out a guy like Liger. Like, how do you think you can fare up against a guy like him?
That's true. That'd be an interesting conversation for next week. I mean, would you guys say that Liger is definitely somebody that should be, if he's not already, should be in the Wrestling Hall of Fame? I'm not saying WWE. I'm saying Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Amen. 10 times over.
Okay.
Yeah, no question. I mean, if you talk about Japanese wrestlers that really changed the game in terms of the style in America, I mean, the list is probably Liger, Muta, and, maybe a couple of names here and there, but those would be the two big ones in terms of bringing that Japanese style over to America, in my opinion.
Definitely. Muta's definitely been one of my favorites of all time. Been watching him, God, I think since the 80s when he's with his battles with Flair and Sting, and yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. But you know what? We're going to go ahead and bring the show to a close tonight. I want to thank the Almighty Governor. Thank you for stopping and gracing us with your presence tonight, sharing your predictions on Hell in a Cell this weekend. Do you have any shows that you're going to be showing up at that you would like to promote, plug? Any social media you'd like to plug? Fire away. Go for it. Are you there? Did we lose him?
Yeah. I'm here. I'm sorry. Like I said, I don't know what happened. But anyway, like I said, you never know where the old governor going to wind up at. Like I said, I am a promoter as well. I have my own promotion, the XPW. You can go on Facebook at facebook.com/Extreme PW. Extreme is XTREMEPW. Go like it. I think we're on Twitter too. I don't handle the Twitter. I can barely Facebook, much less tweet. But tweet and Instagram, yeah, like I said, they got all that stuff. But I don't know where I'm going to be this weekend. I am not booked. I get calls literally all the time, and I have to turn down a lot. I was actually blessed. Austin knows this. You guys don't. I was actually trained by two WWE legends, and they were two of the best managers in the business. Mr. Bill Moody, which was Paul Bearer, he trained me. I dated his niece. And then I actually received training from the almighty Bobby the Brain, my idol. I received some training from him. So
who would have knew? Especially
who would have known him?
Yeah, well, like I said, I am, Rick Steiner down in Georgia about probably 2 months ago came up to me and he said, Gov, he said, you're one of the last. And but by the way, I by no means am I bragging, but hey, whenever Rick Steiner and a legend like that says this, I'm going to definitely say it. He said that I'm one of the last of the old school managers. And I was trained by Mr. Bill Moody, and he was, I tell you right now, that was a blessing. I tell you right now, when I say I was lucky, I was absolute lucky, because he took me with him. I worked his promotion. He managed me. I'm good friends. Well, I was like I said, I'm very good friends with his son DJ, and also his late son Mikey. I was like I knew him real well. But like I said, yeah, I mean, it was just like I dated his niece, and a quick story, I hope I'm not taking up your time, but
go for it.
Is that on how I met, anyway, his niece, Crystal, that I was dating, she said, what are you doing? And like I said, I was just getting into wrestling at that time. I was a greenhorn, thought I knew everything, didn't know crap. So anyway, I was working a show, and she called me, and I was just coming back from it, and she said, well, what are you doing? Come see me. I'm like, baby, I'm tired, and she said, trust me, you really want to come see me. Now, keep in mind, I did not know her uncle was Paul Bearer. And I said, well, listen, I have to go take a crap. I got to come into your house, take the crap, and then we can talk. I go in there, pull down my pants, and I know this is probably going to really ruin your ratings, but who cares? Anyway, it's going to, I go in there, pull my pants down, getting ready to take a crap. Out pops out this guy, pulled the curtain back, said, "Oh, yes!" And I literally, here I am with my pants down, and that's how I met Paul Bear, with my pants down. Literally took the crap while I was there because I was so scared. Because not only was there a man standing in the shower, but it was Paul Bear. And he was like, he said, he was like, "Oh, you could go ahead and finish." I'm like, "Can you leave, or could you shut the curtain, or could you, But then, of course, like I said, he took me under his wing. He started training me. I traveled, like I said, because I'm from Charlotte. Like I said, I traveled back and forth to Mobile. Like I said, I got to travel some with them. I got to meet all the WWE legends, which some of them I still talk to. And then anyway, whenever we were down in Alabama, because I was at a show, and at the time I was, of course this is when I was still wrestling. Because I was a wrestler for some time before my knees and my back got so bad where I got into management. And then plus I was always a better manager because, of course, I was smarter than everybody else. But what it was is that, anyway, like I said, he always, would manage me. And that was one thing about him. And like I said, Danny can tell you this too, is that he put his guys over. And he was amazing. And anyway, I turned by mistake. I turned heel by mistake because, of course, the fans, they turn us bad or good, and the fans turned me that night. And I was like, I've just been working about a year, and I'm like, Mr. Bill, I don't know how to be a heel. And he said, "Well, let me go introduce you to somebody." Obviously, he wanted me to go kind of the evil route, in which now, of course, when anybody signs a contract to come work for the governor, it's a running joke that they just made a deal with the devil. I don't know why, because I'm a perfect angel. But anyway, I don't know why people think that of me. I mean, I'm like Mother Teresa over here. I'm so honest. But
Governor, you mean you have something in common? I know Felix and Nate. Don't you guys feel the same exact way about me? Come on, give me some credit.
Right. Oh, goodness.
I plead the fifth.
Plead the fifth. But anyway, with what happened is that anyway, they turned me heel, and I said, I don't know how to be heel, and he said, "Well, have this. I'm coming back into Charlotte for the show for Raw. After Raw, we'll go," and this is whenever they didn't, have SmackDown. He said, "How about this? We'll go, and I'll introduce you to somebody. He's a very great heel. He's been in the business a long time. Once again, he didn't tell me who he was taking me to go see. So anyway, the whole time it was like he was kidnapping me. We drove up, and he wouldn't tell me, because he all but hoodwinked me. And anyway, we pull up to this very nice house, and we get out. We ring the doorbell, and here comes a maid, and she said, "He's expecting you." I go up, and of course, there's no pictures on the wall, so I can't see who it is. Here comes a man around the corner. My mouth instantly falls to the ground, and he said, "What, you never seen an effing weasel before?" And it's Bobby the Brain Heenan. And we got to stay up there, and we stayed about 3 nights with Bobby the Brain, and I literally was a sponge. He was my idol when everybody else was chanting for, Bobby the Brain is still to this day on the WWE Network, which is only $9.99, because I will research Bobby the Brain. I absolutely love him. Bobby the Brain and Paul Bearer, because Bobby the Brain taught me, he said anybody can, actually his exact words, any jackass can go out there and parade around the ring, but you have to get in their minds. And you can ask anybody. I play mind games with a lot of people. I'm one of the best at it because I was trained partially by Bobby the Brain, and he was just like I said, I soaked it up like a sponge, and like I said, this will be year 14 for me. So I've been in the business 14 years. I'll be going on 15 next year, hopefully, Lord willing. And like I said, I just have fun. I'm like I said, every now and then when it calls. This year I was in a match. I laced back up the boots after being out of the ring for 5 years, and laced back up and got in there and defeated a guy, retired him. So, like I said, I just love the business. The business has been very good to me. I'm very tough on a lot of the guys that I train because I train guys, I train girls, and it's like I tell you, I'm tough on them because I said, listen, this business is not a game. This business is, it's sacred to me. I was taught it, because I was taught to treat it as a sacred, institution, and that's what I aim it to be. Anybody else can get out, kind of deal. But no, like I said, that's a little bit about the old governor. I just, you mix Bobby the Brain Heenan, Classy Freddie Blassie, and Boss Hogg, and you got the governor.
The crooked governor.
Alrighty then.
Oh my God. Yeah, we actually bring it back on. Next time Survivor Series, I think, is the next pay-per-view. It's gonna be up next. Maybe you can come back on with us and talk some more. About the pay-per-view and seeing the predictions, because you have some really unique predictions. Let me tell you, with a mind like yours, it definitely has to.
I only came on because y'all were paying. That's what I do now. Y'all are paying me by the hour, right?
In order to get you on, I tried to say, we could have paid you more less. You're like, no, I want that specific amount. I'm like, you know what, being who you are, I guess so. All right, I gave them.
Well, can you actually believe he said Lana was going to be here tonight? That's the only reason why I came, and then,
I do believe Austin would say that.
One way or another.
Yeah,
I had to get the one way.
Yeah, he said, hey, Gov, I think Lana's going to be here tonight as a guest host. And where's Lana? Lana could not magically make it tonight. But,
it's just the way it works. Chase Owens couldn't make it. Lana, didn't make it tonight. I'm sorry. I had to get you here one way or another.
He just governized the governor. But no, guys, like I said, I had fun tonight. Like I said, I really had fun. I appreciate y'all inviting me on, and
sure.
Giving a little bit of time, because like I said, I love this business, and if you guys ever need anything, you know where to reach me. Just get a hold of me.
You got it. We appreciate you joining us tonight, and until next time, this is the governor here. We thank you for joining us. Austin will be in touch with you to set something up for a future, for sure.
There you go.
All right. Enjoy your night, sir. And there we have it. The governor, or as Austin put on tonight's promotional post, the crooked governor. It did seem kind of weaselly, but I think we'll get to know more about him as time goes on. Definitely an interesting story leading into who he's gotten the chance to work with, train with, learn from. If there was ever two people he could learn from, those two would be good choices. Definitely the top of the list.
I was going to say this before, but I didn't get a chance to. Paul Bearer knows how to put people on the ground. He knows ways, especially being the father of darkness. If that situation happened, I was trying to use the bathroom, and he was behind those curtains, I would have found my way into the sewer. The sewer. I'm going to tell you, if I was on the ground, I would have found my way right back into it. I'm not kidding.
Can you believe, guys, we're almost coming to the end of October. November's coming right around the corner. Holiday season is sneaking upon us. Hopefully you all got your Christmas shopping done and out of the way.
Well, speaking of the list, you actually speaking. I'm sorry for interrupting you, but speaking of a list, the Christmas list, I actually had me and you both, me and you and Nate, all have a list of guests we want to get on, especially with Pipebomb. We've had a lot of them come on this year and over the past years, but I think we've gotten one of ours at the top of the list. It's going to be on within a couple of weeks.
No names are going to be mentioned. We might leak a little bit of hints here and there. but no names at all. I'm really the only one that knows. Austin may have a clue. And let's just put it this way. I'm not going to – I want a complete shock, complete surprise, and I think it's going to happen. And I think Nate will definitely – his jaw will hit the floor. That's for sure.
So you're saying it's the Shockmaster.
Damn it, you knew it right away. You stole it from me, man.
I knew you told him.
Eyes on your own paper.
And you're saying the governor's crooked. I thought he can trust you with this. Why did you tell – never mind.
But interesting show tonight. Definitely leading into the pay-per-view this weekend. For those who definitely can catch it. Where can they catch it, Austin?
It's actually WWE Network for only $8.99. No, $9.99. That's what I meant. Or like Mick Foley said last night, undisclosed price. Let's go with that.
It was definitely good to see Mick last night. Definitely, he still gets a good pop. I mean, he thinks he's not at the caliber of a Rock. Obviously, Rock's going to be Rock, and that's just him. But Mick, he still has the ability to get the crowd going, and definitely one that delivers some very passionate promos. You know, and I think he did one dead on last night. But hopefully, our predictions, will come to fruition. We didn't do too bad last month with Night of Champions. We'll see what happens, and then we'll lead into maybe what might happen at the Survivor Series next month. That being said, we have Chase Owens next week to close out the month of October, and then we're going to start off November with a bang, no doubt. With that said, did you guys have anything you guys wanted to plug, mention? Check out Austin's graphic design page. Plug it, Austin. Plug it.
It's Austin James graphic design page, and if you didn't know already, we put in between each pixel just a touch of magic, from numerous tomato tuna Subway sandwiches. I just take a little bit of everything I love and put it between each pixel, and eventually you have your graphic design. It's something. It's a work of art. You know, I can never do it justice. You just have to see to believe. But you can actually contact me. Austin James Graphic Design on Facebook, and also on Austin James Graphic Design at yahoo.com. It's pretty easy, and if you don't follow me on Twitter, I'm actually at @the_Austin James. Same with Instagram. And if you have no friends, which is totally understandable, Facebook. That's my name, Austin Kors. Like me. Well, don't like me. You can't like me because I have a personal, the celebrity pages. But if you want to add me as a friend, I'll be your friend. You know what? Okay, we'll have some ice cream one day.
You know what? I wonder if Austin was a crooked manager in his past life. He sure is full of himself, ain't he?
It would surprise me.
And what about you, Nate? What you got to plug? What you got going on?
All right. You can check me out every week on the Kings of Sport podcast, along with my co-host Marcus Vanderberg. You can check that out on iTunes and Stitcher. And follow us on Twitter at KOS_POD, Cospod on Twitter. And I did have 2 quick stories I wanted to bring up to you and get you guys' opinions on real quick before we end the show this week.
Go for it.
The first one, obviously, we're all wrestling fans here, and I don't know about you guys, but one of my favorite feds to watch is Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. And one of my favorite guys out of PWG was with the WWE, and this week he was released, and I don't know why, because to me this guy had star written all over him, and that's Willie Mack.
Amen. That guy, what's funny about him, he actually reminds me of a person, I can't say a person he reminds me of because he doesn't remind me of anybody. The reason why I said it is because a guy he's a pretty, husky guy, and he moves like the wind. I mean, he's like water. He's like the, you know who ACH is? I'm sure you've heard of him before. I mean, he's a well-known professional wrestler. He's the opposite of ACH, but does the same exact thing as him. I mean, he's, Willie Mack's amazing. He is so good at what he does, and I think it's only, the only time will tell when he's going to get the next opportunity of being in WWE, but there's a place for him. There's absolutely a place for Willie Mack.
Yeah, he's a big, husky, chubby guy, but he can fly. He's got great charisma. And I think maybe this could be a blessing because, he's out in L.A. and, the Lucha Underground, the AAA El Rey promotion, they're going to need new talent as they keep doing these seasons. And I think Willie Mack could be a big star with a company like that. So, hopefully if the WWE doesn't give him a look, or TNA or somebody like that, he can hook up with AAA, because I think he's a guy, and he's still young. I think he's like 26, 27. He's got a lot of potential. The other story I wanted to bring up real quick was, we like to talk about legends on this show, and just this week we lost another legend in Ox Baker, who's one of the great heels of all time, and so I just wanted to, get you guys' thoughts on Ox Baker, because I thought he was somebody that, we didn't see him really at his peak because we were a little bit too young, but I remember when he was in the 80s, and even then, he was just somebody that just got so much heat, and he's going to be missed, in my opinion.
You talk about heat. You say heat. I don't think it was heat. I think it was more like turning up to whatever is past heat, whatever is past flames or fire. He made people angry, and with being the master of the heart punch, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't want to touch him. Especially what's funny about him is that he, being the tough guy that he was, I don't know if you remember this. I actually seen a clip of him on the The Price is Right, I think, with him and Bob Barker, and it was just so funny the exchange that they had. But as much as he was a brutal force to be reckoned with, he was also, he had a heart of gold. He was nice to everybody that came up to him. The fan fest and everybody and everything like that. He was really a nice guy to be around. But at the same time, you've seen that beard that he has, not that beard, the mustache, the unique eyebrows and everything. He had it going on. He was so unique at what he did. So unique. We definitely lost a legend.
Very well said. Definitely a legend gone. A legend gone, but definitely not forgotten. One who should be recognized for his contributions to the wrestling business. Hopefully he will one day. Maybe we'll see a documentary about his wrestling career. It's always good to re-educate the old school fans and some of the new school fans who may or may not be familiar with who he was and what he's done. Maybe something we can talk about with our good buddy Michael Elliott over at Elbow Productions. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and bring the show to a close. Until next week, this is, of course, for Nate, Austin, and myself. Thank you guys for joining us tonight, as we gave our predictions. Thank the governor for showing up tonight, and our call-in, Kelly. Definitely interesting conversation with her. And coincidentally, she's part of the MCW crew, Austin.
Johnny G.
I didn't know that. But until then, hopefully we'll invite them back, and she'll call again. Maybe another time we'll talk about that too. But for now, we'll call it a close. So I will close as I normally do, saying keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars. Good night, everybody. Good night, Austin. Good night, Nate. Good night, everybody who's listening tonight.
See you next week.
All right.
I'm making you go away.